Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Path to Recovery podcast. Today's episode, number 37, is called No Going Back, or as I like to say, No Going Backwards. Now, before we begin, I need you to subscribe, favorite, share, and if on YouTube, please click that bell icon to get notifications every time I post new content. Also, new to my podcast series is a Patreon page that you can subscribe to so you can receive special content only for my Patreon members, though. I'm going to put a link down in the description below for you. Now, I'm expecting this podcast to be short, but, when I get going, who knows? Anything's possible. The concept, no going back. In its simplest form, it means not to look back and wish. Don't seek the things that might have been, or our decisions made way back when, either. What going back means is that you've seen what life is like now, but you remember how things were once before and wish it could be the same, or similar. We tend to reminisce with our friends or family on those old days. No, it doesn't always mean that, but it tends to be exactly that way. What we seem to lose sight of is all those difficult times we had back then as well. All the struggles that we had along with all the good times. How fun was school, really? I mean, what clique were you in? Were you a top athlete or an A student? Did we always have a cruddy lunch while our friends' lunches seemed to be more entertaining? How comfortable were we when we finally thought that girls or boys weren't gross? How was our social interaction as a kid going through puberty? I mean, seriously, folks, probably the most terrifying time. How was it when we had to pay rent for the first time, when we were on our own? When we couldn't afford a bill? How was that feeling? Maybe when we had to have pasta and water for all 3 meals for a month or 6. I mean, I lived off of pasta and popcorn for a majority of my early 20s. How did it feel when we had no car, but we still had to get to work? Now, all of those things were happening throughout our lives. What I want to focus on is the how. How did we get through those hard times? How did we manage? How did we get to where we are today? How did we heal from the lessons back then? How did our coping skills work for us? Those neat little life skills that your parents taught you. Oh, that's right. We didn't really pay attention to those because our parents didn't know what they were talking about back then. As we are today, so we are throughout our life. Today is a mere creation of our decisions. We decided the outcome of every aspect of our life as soon as we were able to communicate and think freely. And yes, even as an infant, we were able to think freely and make decisions. How else did we know how to cry to get something? We didn't understand what a messy diaper was, but we certainly figured out that if we cried louder, our parents would end up responding a lot quicker. We began making decisions of what was to come next in our moments. Our decisions were the creation of our thoughts. Those thoughts created by our experiences from life, our parents, siblings, our friends, movies, TVs, social media, things that we watched and listened to, song lyrics, maybe books that we read, you name it. They all played a part in what we thought. They created our core beliefs. But it does go deeper than that, folks. It goes deeper than just our decisions. Our thoughts and our actions are a result of what we actually believe. We believe that our parents didn't know what they were telling us. Therefore, we do the opposite of what they said, and it must be better. We believe that we aren't worthy of love. Therefore, we have dysfunctional relationships with everyone. We can't sustain a partner. We lose friends rapidly. Our coworkers say that we're hard to work with, and so on. We believe that we can't understand or cope with how we were treated at work. Therefore, we think we need to quit our jobs to find a happier place. We believe that everything outside of us is to blame. Therefore, when something unhealthy happens, we point fingers and blame others. Like I said, it does get deeper. No going back. No going back. It basically means that we don't need to wish that we could go back in time to a place where things seemed easier. In truth, this life isn't easy. It's hard to be human in a human world. It means that what we perceive to be a better time is in fact a veil or a cloud over our acceptance of this human walk, and our lack of wanting to take on the responsibility in our decision-making or actions we take or took each day. It means that we need to see the past as lessons or tests that we work through in order to be here right now. Contrary to our thoughts, there was no pass or fail. It was more like, how did I do? Did I struggle through it? Did I cruise through it? Did I find new life from it? Did I release tensions or own them and receive more stress? Did I gain a better understanding of something, or did I just ignore it and walk away? Did I become a better person from my test or lesson, or did I decide to just be who I wanted to be and the heck with everyone else? Wanting to go back is wanting to go backwards, not forwards. Forwards is where the healing is, where our joy is, where acceptance and responsibility is, where our growing is. Forwards is where we're going, not where we've been. Folks, thank you very much for listening in. I hope you enjoyed this short podcast. I hope you're growing from it as well. And I thank you so deeply for wanting to listen to my podcast. I appreciate your time and energy, as with everything, all day. Thank you very much. God bless you all, and I look forward to talking to you next time.